Welcome back to Winning on Taxes here with Hubert Johnson from Guardian Tax Law. Want to touch real quick why it's so important to use a professional when needed. If you have simple tax returns and you're comfortable filing your own returns, no problem. I just had someone that came to me. They had simple tax returns. They actually had their aunt preparing their return, and the aunt felt very confident about filing their tax returns. Turns out when I looked at them and went over their case with them, they had foreign reporting issues. They had assets overseas. They also had capital gains from those that weren't being addressed at all. And so we need to go back and address those capital gain issues. And so what they thought was a very simple return turned out to be a lot more complicated. And I said, look, if your aunt can handle this, but I don't think she can. And I have CPAs that are very familiar with how to handle these more complicated taxes. They talked to their aunt. The aunt said, no, go use the CPA and make sure it's done right because it was a very big issue. Same thing with getting your tax returns done before you talk to a professional. It's a bad idea. Always get good advice first. The reason I say that, I had one gentleman come in. He was so tickled and pleased with himself because he had filed 19 years of tax returns, going all the way back to 1996. So he thought he had really put everything together, made this Herculean effort to get all these tax returns and get square with the IRS. And he filed them before he came in and talked to me. And I said, did you talk to anybody? He said, no, I didn't. And I said, I really wish you would have, because the IRS can only go back 6, not 19 years. And the sad part about it is those 19 years of taxes, you can't get a refund from any of the years. Anything older than 3 years, you can't get a refund for. And all of the tax debt from all those years, but you filed them in 2021, and it won't go away for 10 years later. So debt from 1996 is still going to be around until 2031, unless he settles it somehow. So again, do not shoot yourself in the foot. Don't make your case harder than it needs to be. Get good advice first. So again, if you have more complex issues, if you're not sure, talk to a tax professional. Talk to someone that's going to educate you, give it to you straight. So it's very interesting here that you have so many people that will tell you you need to file 10 years of returns, 10 years of returns. So just out of curiosity, preparing for this show, I Googled how many years of tax returns do I need to file? All kinds of things came up from different companies saying, we'll file 10 years for you. We'll file 10 years for you. And I was looking for some good advice. Couldn't find it anywhere. And I had to actually dig deeper. I know what it is. I actually spoke in January at a seminar, and I shared the IRM citation from the Internal Revenue Manual that clearly states what the requirement is. So we're going to go ahead and share this with you. And it's pretty straightforward what the requirement is. And it's from, got to get there. And let's go ahead and share this with you so you can see for yourself what we're looking at. Now, this is the IRM, is the Internal Revenue Manual. It's pretty much their Bible that they have to follow. And so it talks about taxpayer rights, interviews here. And this is really where it kind of cuts to the chase. Full compliance check. So this is making sure you're compliant with all filing requirements. And it's for the preceding 6-year period. So the interesting thing is 6 years. I've been doing this for 16 years. When you talk to revenue officers, when you talk to offer examiners, when you talk to collections, they all know it's for 6 years. So why the difference here? So it's really kind of crazy. And we're going to scroll up to the very top here, the IRS didn't remove this section. They hid it from public view. They removed this section from public view, and this has just happened in the last couple of months. So people can't find this on their own. If they talk about transparency, they talk about people knowing their rights and their options. This is not helping. So again, this is from taxnotes.com, where they were sharing this. And it's so important to know how many years you actually need to file. And we're going to talk about specifically which years when we come back from this next commercial break, and we'll dive right into it.